Dear students, so today's class we are discussing the very important topic, that is acid, base and salt. Do you know that different chemical element when combined together, so there is a formation of new compounds? You know that, okay? When two or more elements will combined, so there is a formation of new compound, okay? And these compounds are classified on the basis of their chemical properties like acid, base and salt. Okay, so these compounds are classified on the basis of their chemical properties. So few are classified as acids, few are base and few are the salt. Okay, so that is the classification of these compounds, acid, base and salt. So we'll discuss one by one. First we'll see what are the acids. Okay, do you know acids? So in your day-to-day life you are using so many example of acids. Suppose if you take one lemon and if you cut with the help of knife and if you test the lemon, so you get a sour taste. Why lemon have the sour taste? Do you know that? So due to the acidic property, okay, due to the presence of acid in that lemon, so it have the sour in taste. Okay, that is the chemical properties of acids. Okay, when you test the any acids, mostly they have the sour in taste. So with the help of test also we can easily identify whether the given compound is acidic or not. Okay students, and if you test the any base, okay, like NaOH, KOH, so they have the bitter in taste. Now clear students, with the help of test also we can check whether the given compound is acidic or basic. So in your day-to-day life, so many examples like orange, then raw mango, okay, so many examples are there which contain the acid and because of their chemical nature. Okay, now we'll discuss what are the acids generally. Okay, acids are the such chemical compounds generally when they can dissolve in water, so they can easily donate the H plus ions and their corresponding ions. Means if you take the any acids and if you dissolve in water, so what happen? So acid have the properties, so they can donate the H plus ion. H plus means hydrogen, they can easily donate. That is a property of acid. Now clear? So actually that is the definition of acid also. When we can dissolve the acid in water, they can give the H plus ion. Okay, so here just we'll check the example. If you take the hydrochloric acid means HCl and we can dissolve in water, so what happen in this case? So this hydrochloric acid can donate the H plus ion to this water and generally it can form the H3O plus and Cl minus will be separated. So that is the acid. So you know hydrochloric acid, yes, so that is one of the acid. So this is one of the mineral acid. When this hydrochloric acid will dissolve in water, so HCl can donate the H plus ion to the water. So if you take the sulfuric acid H2SO4, so that also, okay, they can donate the H plus ion to H plus ion and the SO4 minus will be separated. Okay, if you take the nitric acid, same way, if nitric acid we can dissolve in water, so it can give the H plus ion. So these are the different example of acid. HCl is a hydrochloric acid, H2SO4 is a sulfuric acid, HNO3 is a nitric acid and CS3COH, this is the acetic acid. Okay students, so these are the different acids. So now we'll see what are the base. Generally you know that base have the bitter in taste. Okay, so what are the base? Generally when actually this is also one of the chemical compound, this is one of the chemical substance which when we can dissolve in water and generally it can give the OH minus ion. So you know the base like NaOH, KOH, sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, these are the strong bases. Okay, and mostly these bases we are using to prepare the soap also, you know that. Okay, okay, see here I will take an example of this base NaOH. So that is in aqueous medium. Okay, aqueous means we can dissolve in water. Sodium hydroxide when we can dissolve in water, so it can separate Na plus and OH minus ion. So that indicates that it is a base. So when but most of the base they do not have the OH group. So we'll explain in next point. Okay, like sodium carbonate. Okay, so they don't have the OH minus ion, but they have the basic in nature. Okay students, so generally acid have the sour in taste, you know that, and base are the bitter in taste. Okay, so generally another test by using the some indicator we can check whether it is acid or base. So what is the role of that indicators? They can indicate, actually indicators, they are the chemical compound. Okay, so with the help of that you can easily understand the given compound is acidic or basic. So we are discussing here some indicator for testing the acid and base. Okay, so first indicators we are using here litmus paper. Okay, do you know litmus paper? Then methyl orange, this is also one of the best indicator. Then phenolphthalein, this is also one of the indicator to check whether it is acidic or basic. So if you see here students, so litmus paper, generally what happen, if acidic compound is given to you, okay, and if you dip the blue litmus paper in that, okay, so litmus paper, when we can dip inside the acidic solution, so generally that blue litmus paper get turns into the red color, and that is the indication it is a acidic solution. So very simple test. So in test 2 we can take the acidic solution, and in that you can dip the blue litmus paper, okay. So within a minute, so that blue litmus paper will turns into the red color, so that is the litmus paper red color, so that indicates it is a acidic. So if you take the base, okay, basic solution, suppose NaOH, KOH, you can take in one beaker and we can dip the red litmus paper, okay, it is exactly opposite. Red litmus paper, if we do dip, so it gets converted into the blue color, so that indicates it is a basic compound, okay students. So this is one of the test. With the help of this also we can easily identify whether it is a acidic or basic. So if you take the methyl orange, so methyl orange, it is also one of the chemical compound, so this is one of the indicators. So when we can using the methyl orange, it gives the red color in acid solution generally, okay. When you take the acidic compound, acid solution, in that we can add 2 to 3 drops of methyl orange, so it turns into the red in color, okay. So that indicates the it is what, acidic compounds, okay, methyl orange. It gives the, and in case of the basic solution, okay, if you take the basic solution and you can add a methyl orange, it gives the yellow color. So this is very important, okay. In case of the acid, it can give the red color, okay. So very simple test. You can add the methyl orange in any acidic solution, so it turns into the red color, so that indicate it is a acid, get it. And if you take the basic compound and if you add the methyl orange, so it turns into the yellow color, so that indicates the it is the basic solution. Now clear students? So we will discuss the another indicator, that is a phenolphthalein, okay. So phenolphthalein indicator, generally it is a colorless in case of the acid solution. So if you take the hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and if you add the phenolphthalein indicators, so what happen in this case, so when we can add, so there is no change in color. Actually you know, hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, it is a colorless, though they don't have a specific color. So if you add the phenolphthalein, so the color remain as it is, means it is a colorless, okay. If same phenolphthalein indicators, if you add in a base like a KOH and NaOH, so already you know NaOH and KOH you can prepare in water, so these are the aqueous solution because it is in the form of crystals. So we can dissolve in water NaOH, and we can prepare the NaOH solution, means basic solution. And if you add the phenolphthalein 2 to 3 drops, suddenly the color going to be changed, it become a pink color, okay. So that indicates that it is a basic solution. It is very important test, and mostly this we are using for the titration. So it is in higher level, in 11th standard, that experiment you have, okay. So that is a, so now all of you clear, when you take the basic solution and if you add the phenolphthalein indicators, so phenolphthalein also it is a colorless solution, but when we can add in that NaOH solution or basic solution, it turns into the pink color, and that indicates that it is the basic solution. Now clear? And if you add in acid, so there is no change, means it is a colorless, so that is also acid. So this is a further test to check whether it is acidic or basic. Okay, so next one more test is there, that is olfactory indicators. Actually olfactory indicators generally whose smell changes in acidic and basic solution. With the help of smell, with the help of odor, we can easily identify it is acidic or basic compound. Now clear students? So if you take the example of onion peels or vanilla, that extract you can take, and we can add the if you take the any acidic solution and if you add the onion peels or vanilla extract, so there will be the so the color that smell we cannot be easily identified, okay. So that means with the help of smell we can check whether it is a acidic or basic solution, that is a olfactory indicators. So example is what, onion peels and vanilla extract, so that is the best example, you remember that. So next we'll discuss, so already we discussing the acids. So generally what are the acid are the substance which can give the H plus ion, which can donate the H plus ion, that is the acids, okay. So we'll see some example. Some are the organic acids, and some are the natural acids, organic acid, and some are the we can prepare in laboratories. See, organic acid means what? The acid which is present in plant as well as animals. Okay, the acids which are present in plant and animals are called as an organic acid. Okay, students. So generally, organic acid we'll see here some natural resources, and acids will see the example. Vinegar, you know. Yes, vinegar. Yes, it is used in kitchen for preparing the pickles also. And vinegar, what is the which acid is present in vinegar? That is acetic acid. And do you know the formula of acetic acid? CH3COOH. Okay, so that is acetic acid. If you check the if you see the orange, so orange, how which acid is present? That is a citric acid. So that is a citric acid which is present in orange. In case of the tamarind, tartaric acid is there. So you remember, this is very important. In case of the tamarind, tartaric acid is there. Tartaric acid. Okay, you remember. So different food chemic, they have the different acids. So in case of the tomato we are using daily. Yes, tomato having the oxalic acid. Okay, it contains the 2 carboxylic group. Carboxylic group means what? COOH group. Okay, so that is a functional group of acid, COOH, you remember. So it contains the, it is in higher level, so we'll discuss that time. Okay, then curd. Okay, so you know milk gets converted into curd due to some lactobacillus process, and that curd having which acid? So it contains the lactic acid. Okay, because of that reason it have the Surin test. Mostly these all are the Surin test. So in case of the lemon, it contains the citric acid. Get it, students? So these are the some natural acids. So these are the organic acids. We'll see the some mineral acids. So what are the mineral acid? Mostly these mineral acid are prepared from the mineral of earth. Okay, so from the minerals of the earth we can prepare this. So you know, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, and nitric acid, these are the mineral acids. And most of the mineral acid except carbonic acid, all mineral acids are the strong acid. Okay, so generally hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, and nitric acid, these are the strong mineral acids. Okay, except carbonic acid. So all mineral acids, they can prepared from the by using the minerals from the earth. Okay, and they are the strong acids. Get it, students? And some are the weak acid, like you know, weak acid, acetic acid, then this citric acid, then this lactic acid, oxalic acid. So all are the weak acids. So how these are classified as a strong and weak acids? Okay, on the best, so actually acids can be classified as a strong acid and weak acid. Okay, so they have the two criteria. So when suppose how they are classified as a strong and weak, with the help of concentration also we can see the strong acid and weak acid, and with the help of their ionization. Okay, so the substance which can donate the more H plus ion, so that is a strong acid, like a sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, so which can donate the more H plus ion. Okay, when we can dissolve in water, so it can give the more H plus ion, so that is a strong acid. Get it, students? And weak acids, so they can dissociate very less extent, like a acetic acid. So acetic acid, it can easily dissociate, they can give the H plus ion very slowly, so that is a weak acid. Get it? And also they are classified on the basis of their concentration. If its concentration is more, there is a strong, and concentration is less, that is a weak acid. Okay, so next point we'll discuss, that is very important point, that is a concentrated acid and diluted acid. Okay, do you know, students, concentrated acid which contain the less amount of water, and diluted acid which contain the more amount of water. Means in concentrated acid, so there will be the, suppose if you take the example of hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid, so which contain the very less amount of water. Okay, concentrated acid is very dangerous, it is very harmful. Okay, suppose if you take that concentrated sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, so it can injure to your hand also. Okay, burn the hand, clothes, so it is very harmful and very dangerous. So because of that reason, in laboratories, this concentrated acid mostly we can dilute it by adding the some extra water. Okay, so diluted acid mostly which contain the more amount of water. Okay, so diluted acid generally we can dilute by adding the water molecule. So let me discuss the some concentrated acid. So you take the example of hydrochloric, then nitric acid. Okay, so mostly these are the concentrated acid. Okay, and most of the concentrated acid are very harmful. but we can use to dilute it. Even diluted acid also in some extent they are harmful. Okay, and we can take the precautions during the preparation of these acids. So we will see how acid we can dilute it. Okay, so there is a simple process. Okay, so when we can dilute the any acid, so what is the exact procedure to dilution? So we never add the water in acid. Okay, if you pour the water in acid, so there is will be the explosion takes place. So what is the correct way? So if you take the water in one beaker and you can add the dropwise acid and you can stir it. Constant stirring is necessary. Okay, like this you can dilute it. Okay, in one beaker you can take the water molecules and you can add a dropwise acid molecule, acid compound like HCl or H2SO4. In this way you can dilute this. Okay, so that is the way to dilution. So never add the water in acid. So if you do like this, then explosion takes place. So it catches the fire. Okay, so it is very dangerous concentrated acids. So whenever you can dilute any concentrated acid, you can take the precautions in laboratories. Okay, so now all of you clear, students? So in next class we'll discuss the another important concept from this topic. Okay, now you can take a screenshot, everything is on board. Okay guys, and if you first time watching this video, so don't forget to subscribe the channel and please press the bell button. You get a daily updates regarding such amazing videos. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. You just take a screenshot and note down the notes.